Supermodel Jessica White has been trending as she's on the new season of Love and Hip Hop, which is airing on MTV. But she's not just trending because she's on this new season. Jessica White was in a relationship with Nick Cannon for on and off about 8 years and has gone through, just some scrutiny as a result of, you know, just some personal issues on her end, wanting to have a baby with him, not being able to, and just never really feeling appreciated. Well, how do I know all of this? She told us. She wrote a long letter and shared it with us via her Instagram page. And it just makes me wonder as I read it, is this really about closure? Or is this about her expressing her feelings about a love that she could never really have? How many of us can relate to this? And what do you do in a situation when the one that you love can't love you the way that you need to be loved? Let's talk about it.
We're about to voice it with friend love. Tune in.
Welcome to Voice It with Fran Lavoie, and I'm your host, Fran Lavoie. And this week, I wanted to talk about Jessica White, beautiful chocolate sister and supermodel, has been, featured in so many publications and on the runway and in some music videos as the love interest. And a few years ago, I did a video on her on my other page. I featured her in the video regarding Nick Cannon and what's been going on with him. And for a small recap, they were in an on and off relationship for 8 years. And she posted some pictures, I think in either 2020 or 2021, beautiful pictures with Nick Cannon, where she was professing her love and saying that she'll always love him. And he's in the pictures and everything. And we all know Nick Cannon has a couple baby mamas. And I've expressed my displeasure over this, but also this is your life. You do what you do as long as everybody is in cahoots. Even though I don't think that it's a healthy situation, this is your life, boo. But remember, I voice my opinions on here, so it's just what it's going to be. That same day that she posted those photos and everybody was all happy for her, his second baby mama, because, he was married to Mariah Carey. He had twins with her. Then he has children with Brittany Bell. That second baby mama, Brittany Bell, must have saw those photos and was like, that's cool or whatever, but guess what? I'm expecting. And completely stole the shine from Jessica White's expression of love to Nick Cannon. And of course, Brittany Bell was pregnant with Nick Cannon's child. So everybody was just like, yo, the savagery. And, unless Brittany and Jessica White have an agreement and they're friends, Brittany doesn't really owe Jessica anything. I mean, I think that, it's great that she is expecting, well, at that time she since has 3 children with him. And I just think that what happened after Jessica, after, I guess, seeing all the children and everything, came out in an interview and said, look, I'm hurt by this because I was supposed to be a mother as well. I was supposed to have children with Nick. I could never have them. I don't know if she miscarried. I will put it here if I see it. But, you know, she was hurt by that. And she did an interview stating that Brittany knew that she had miscarried. And, you know, just to post about her pregnancy on that same day. And it felt, to me, it seemed like when she was talking about it, you know, she was very hurt by that and felt like it was just not the right time. And, you know, she had just been through a lot in that time. Then, you know, they were spotted together after that, Nick Cannon and Jessica White. And, you know, a lot of people were scratching their heads. Once again, you know, as adults, we can do what we want to do. But as the good old scripture says, everything's permissible, but not everything is beneficial. And it just doesn't seem beneficial for Jessica to have been hurt by a loss of a child, professing her love, then having to hear about the news of an upcoming child with the man that you love. He's having this upcoming child with another woman, and that woman knowing that that's a sensitive spot for you. It's like, I understand she could have just waited another day, but maybe she didn't know that you were posting all that stuff, girl. I don't know. I mean, she said she did it. She felt a type of way, right? So fast forward to this past week. Jessica White is now being featured on Love and Hip Hop. I believe it's Atlanta. And I haven't watched the show in a long time. And this weekend, they were doing a marathon. So I was like, okay, you know, let me tune in. You know, I was an OG. I used to watch from the beginning. And when Stevie and Jocelyn Hernandez were just terrorizing homes and, you know, just busting through the screen with the drama. And, you know, I was watching it and, you know, you see all the commercials and you're like, oh, okay, you know, Jessica White's going to be on there. That's crazy, you know, beautiful lady. But then you see on social media that, you know, the Shade Room and all these media outlets are posting that she wrote this very long, like, letter to him for us to read. And I am almost at a place where I'm like, man, do I want to read this to y'all? But this is a podcast, so I have to. So here goes. So on her I Am Gypsy White Instagram, she writes, tried to reach out to you, but here's my book at Nick Cannon. I know you're upset about the show, but after 8 years, I can't stand when things catch you off guard, and I feel like you deserve way more respect as a man, even though I may be more respectful than you ever gave me. With public announcements. LOL, I've loved and gave 8 ride or die years with you. With my head high and heart praying you'd see me the way I deserved. I wanted it to work. I prayed every day that you'd see me and love me the way that I loved you. Maybe you did, but just kept it from me during the relationship. I walked away with more questions than anything. I don't know till this day really why current things had to happen. I wanted the world to know I didn't always feel good. Like, Nick was proud to have me as a partner, and I'm so happy I can say that now, and I still know how awesome I am. I'm proud I can say the truth and how I'm healthy emotionally and wouldn't change my insane insecurities that I prayed off my life. I had many hurts and pain way before Nick. I never felt love that was safe, even as a kid, so no, Nick, you didn't cause that pain. I had it long before us, but I put it off on you unfairly without seeing that my healing needed to be deeper past us. I mean, you added to it, but my fear of not being loved was broken by you. I'd like to publicly say that. I felt like you always put the other women on a pedestal, and I was beyond unstable about that. I have to say these things because I'm going to move on from public shame that has been over my life since I was at the top of my game in fashion. I know the truth now about just how much healing I needed, and God has now taken my hurt. I'm not ashamed by being beautiful and successful and not being loved with care throughout my life, because there's big, big love coming to me that will fill up my memories with joy. God will get the glory out of my broken past, not shame nor sadness. The truth is, NC and I were both beautifully broken when we were children and didn't know how to love each other. Instead, we hurt each other. She goes on, instead, we learned how to hurt each other and found peace with who and what we were doing, and it wasn't healthy for anyone involved. We were the perfect storm for each other, and no one would back down. I would war with Nick like no other, and he would always have the last of the war because, man, he was good at knowing my triggers. And way more clever, I was just erratic. We hurt each other, and that's that. I put in my head and I tortured myself with negative thoughts of myself. And the public helped me kill myself with self-worth by teasing me that he wouldn't claim me publicly. I was so devastated because I always had those feelings of not being loved. So I played it off and shared fake confidence about a love I questioned up until his Hollywood Unlocked interview. I went from feeling like the most beautiful girl in the world to just super insecure. Nick is the first man who ever loved me and the man I let know everything about me, even the rage I recovered from. I would have never and still would never do anything to hurt him. But my journey in this life cannot be robbed of experiences I need to have. Talking about our relationship with sharing my hurt and pain I caused throughout the years to him is also my truth as well and fair for the healing that we both need to make peace with everything between us. I knew how to hurt him just as bad as he's done in the past, so none was perfect in our relationship. I want to thank you for the last 8 years, everything you taught me, and all the growth that I never would have been able to have without experiencing love and space and time with you. She goes on, hurt you many times, but we taught each other how to be better. I think she meant taught, but she spelled it as thought. I don't know. But we taught each other how to be better, and now I see the beauty in all my hurtful experiences between us. Just make it through this first season. I healed. I guess she's referring to the Love and Hip Hop. I cried a lot, but I was definitely upset at you. I broke a promise in 2020 that I'd always protect our truth, and in 2020 I broke that promise and spoke to Jason. I'm still happy that I did that for me, but I know it hurt you because I was always the one to stand strong on you trusting me, but we share stories and a very public one that I had to heal from all on my own and do it my way. I'm learning how to tell my story without feeling bad, and that's been hard. I'm now able to share my truth about my life, and I've learned to be proud of. I'll no longer speak about things that hurt us both, but to speak public words and memories that celebrate the man I met years ago and admire all the great parts. That's what I'll always remember and speak of moving forward. You have my word. This is my healing and love letter to myself. I had to heal publicly because I was broken publicly, and I want to do this God's way and let him restore me in front of the world. I have my love, and I know what I deserve, and I will experience new joyful moments and share my happy moment. I'm new and ready for this new chapter God has me on. Please be happy for me. Thank you for always praying for me, Nick. I never told you thank you for your ways of showing love, and I know that I was never satisfied and expressed that more than seeing what you were doing. I want to say you helped me become a healthy communicator because I was horrible. I needed you and your wisdom and tears that helped me grow. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for absolutely everything. We were so brilliantly lived out together. Toxic as hell, but our love story nonetheless. I'll always be a part of your story. You are in mine. No regrets, just appreciative that I got to fight it out the last 8 years with a true friend. Oh, and thank you for telling the world the truth about us, LOL. I really needed that negative narrative away from my new legacy that I'm rebuilding. I'm doing this publicly because I'm changing the narrative of pain and remembering our love. In this lifetime, it has been tremendously transformative for the both of us, and I pray I left you better than I found you. At one point, I loved you more than myself, and that was the worst thing I ever did to me. I hurt myself just as much and let me down by getting lost in you and forgetting to feed my soul first. When we ended, I had to relearn myself again and even how to love myself all over again and be gentle to my new way of being. I had changed so much and didn't know how to speak without even mentioning you. I was in a daze and a damn fool. Laughing emoji, LOL. I prayed for you. I prayed for healing every day this year at 5 a.m. to love myself again and not be afraid to be loved and in love again. And for the first time since I fell in love with you years ago, I found myself being extremely happy and hopeful and I liking a boy who makes me smile like a little girl. It's new to me and I love that. And I'm feeling excited again and not scared or blocking my own happiness. Thank God. I had no idea that God was going to bless me with the show and it changed my life and I'm so grateful. I just know that during the process of filming, this was right after our breakup. And I was so after our breakup, and so I was still hurting and wasn't happy with you. I was hard on myself and you. I didn't believe in your love during my healing journey. I knew that there was no more coming back after what happened. So I had to really go deep in order to not block new blessings and to have unforgiveness in my heart and bitterness changing my love for love. Hell, I even went on dates because I wasn't about to sit around and cry over us again, which I'm so happy I did healing and was stepping out and trying everything new. I'm loving how I can emotionally embrace how romantically deprived I am and feel like a little girl waiting. Hey y'all, to hear the rest of this audio and more topics, please look at my YouTube page and go on my podcast at Voice It with Fran Lavoie. Thank you for watching.